The library was a sanctuary, a time capsule. It was filled with the scent of aged paper and hushed whispers. Everyone there wore traditional robes, a sea of flowing fabric and intricate embroidery. They moved with quiet grace, their fingers tracing the spines of ancient texts. Then he saw her. She was different. This girl wore simple jeans and a t-shirt, her hair pulled back in a messy braid. She stood out like a single wildflower in a field of perfectly aligned roses. Her eyes scanned the shelves with a focused intensity, oblivious to the curious stares she drew. He couldn't look away. Something about her casual confidence, her disregard for the unspoken dress code, captivated him. A warmth blossomed in his chest, an unfamiliar flutter that he realized, with a jolt, might be the beginnings of love. But this was no time for such distractions. He had exams looming, a mountain of knowledge to conquer. He chided himself for the wayward thoughts, for the way his eyes kept straying back to her corner of the library. He forced his attention back to his books, but the words swam before his eyes, the girl's image imprinted on his mind. Days turned into weeks. He saw her every afternoon, always in the same section, always lost in her own world. He'd steal glances at her when he thought she wasn't looking, his heart skipping a beat whenever their eyes accidentally met. She never seemed to notice him, or at least she never acknowledged his presence. He imagined talking to her, pictured their fingers brushing as they reached for the same book. He even practiced introducing himself, his voice catching in his throat at the mere thought. But reality always intruded, a harsh reminder of the gulf that separated them. Section 4. Halfway there. His studies progressed. He marked off the days, each one bringing him closer to his goals. He had reached the halfway point, a milestone that filled him with a sense of accomplishment. Yet the girl in the library remained a constant presence in his thoughts, a sweet and distracting melody playing in the background of his life. He knew it was foolish. He barely knew her name, her dreams, her aspirations. Yet her image fueled his imagination, a silent muse in a world of rigid rules and expectations. He realized then that his feelings were not a fleeting infatuation. They were real, raw, and utterly terrifying. Section 5. A Reckless Chase. One rainy afternoon, he saw her leaving the library. She rode a sleek black bicycle, her hair escaping her braid and whipping in the wind. He was supposed to be studying, preparing for an important presentation, but in that moment, reason fled. He found himself following her. He didn't know why he did it. Maybe it was the rain, blurring the lines between caution and impulse. Maybe it was the weeks of pent-up longing, finally spilling over. Whatever the reason, he ran, his bag bouncing against his back until she finally stopped, her face a mixture of annoyance and alarm. Section 6. Lessons in Love and Learning. "Why are you following me?" she demanded, her voice sharp. He stood there, drenched and breathless, his carefully constructed words dissolving into the rain. He had no answer for her, no justification for his foolish pursuit. Shame washed over him, hot and suffocating. He mumbled an apology and turned away, his heart heavy with regret. He had let his emotions cloud his judgment, jeopardizing his studies and potentially scaring her. He realized then that love, however powerful, could not be the sole focus of his life. He had goals, dreams that extended beyond the walls of the library and the image of a girl in jeans. He had to find a balance, a way to nurture his heart without sacrificing his ambition.